Hi friends. I had a lovely day, a lovely second day off from the show, and man, I had a lesson with my teacher Madeline. Amazing as always. That was an interesting lesson because I bumped up against something which I recognized it instantly as a resistance. I could tell I was in resistance because there was just something I was working on Chopin Etude number 12, the left-hand revolutionary etude. And there was just something about what I was doing that I had that thing of like, I just wanted to do it faster than she was encouraging me to. Not so much playing faster, but skipping steps, jumping over some steps. And so just that kind of like the discipline of slowing it down and breaking it down, and then realizing why I was having trouble, because there was clearly a reason why Madeline was slowing me down and asking me to really sort of focus on individual connections between notes and things. And it was really amazing to feel that feel my hands start to feel the keyboard in a different way. It was almost like numbness that started to melt away, and I could feel again. Now, I hadn't been numb before, but it was like the difference between awareness and not awareness. The difference between there is awareness here and I'm actually channeling it. There's actually like an aura of sensation all through my hand, all around as I hover and touch the keys and sort of like navigate this thing, versus not that, versus just kind of like stabbing in a way blindly. It was just really interesting to feel that come online and to feel it happen because of making less movement as opposed to more movement. It was kind of like I knew there were inefficiencies in my playing, but that's the thing about extraneous movement or extraneous tension. We don't know necessarily. It's really hard to recognize that. I mean, I encounter this in Qigong all the time, and I would encounter it when I was really studying Qigong. I encounter it when I teach Qigong. I encounter it even in my own practice, where we don't know what our tensions are and what our habits are. It's not till that external reflection comes that we sometimes get a handle on that. And so anyway, that was a great experience today, and feeling myself slow down, simplify, let my arm have one consistent angle throughout an entire passage, not ducking and diving and kind of contorting myself to accommodate the piece. It's funny how often that's the key, how often it's the key to mastery is not contorting our own integrity. Isn't that amazing? It sounds so simple, right? And you'd think that it would be our intuition to not contort our own integrity. And on some level, you would even think that's what we're doing all the time. We're that when we assert ourselves, or when we do things the way that we know how, we are defending our own integrity, our kind of boundary. But it's so both humbling and hilarious, humblingly hilarious, to realize that's not at all what we're doing. We're actually totally compromising our own integrity all left and right. And it's not till somebody points that out that we go, oh, you mean I get to have more power? Oh, you mean I get to be perfectly comfortable? I'm supposed to be perfectly comfortable as I do this? I'm not supposed to be like in varying mild degrees of discomfort throughout this activity? I thought that that's just what this activity was. It's just, I get uncomfortable when I do it. That's just part of it, right? No. No. Actually, all the way back to sit like a king. Hold that space. Hold that physical integrity, psychological integrity in the form of stillness, centeredness, emotional integrity in the form of poise and peace. It's an amazing exercise. It's an amazing exercise to do, I think, anything creative that demands that of us. I had a flash come through yesterday. For some reason, I ended up watching this video of it's called an Arabian dance. It looked like a ballet, but to some sort of Middle Eastern music and Middle Eastern dance, and it was spectacular, and it just reminded me of what I really resonate with, what I really feel so moved by, and then it was great to have a little time to practice on the piano yesterday, have a little time to practice at the piano today, and just give myself that gift of going deep into something really challenging and really so elegant, so beautiful. You play the great piano pieces forever, and every single day there's some new, just beautiful thing that shows up there. There's the universe in a grain of sand. It's that image for me. It's been hundreds of years since some of these pieces were written. So much musical evolution has taken place. So much cultural and technological evolution has taken place. The piano wasn't even the same piano. Madeline was saying the other day, the piano didn't even have steel in it, didn't even have iron in it until the very end of his life. So he never heard what it sounds like when you play one of his etudes on a Steinway concert piano. He never heard that. Or Mozart. Mozart never heard anything like the pianos we have today. And yet, we practice that music, and it's just one discovery after the next, one beautiful epiphany after the next. So, it always kind of grabs me when I have a lesson with Madeline, and today was no exception. It was interesting because I did start from a place of resistance. I started from a place of, I think I know this. I had practiced yesterday. I had made some progress. I felt like I had gotten something. I had made a stride in terms of how my hands were feeling. But really, that was just preparation for today. I wasn't there. And if you'd asked me, I would have said I'm not there. But somehow inwardly, it's like we're constantly striving to arrive. Constantly striving to arrive at the place where I know it, or I get it. And that's not it. I keep not arriving. I keep relearning the lesson of non-arrival. I keep relearning the lesson of, oh, right, I'm not there yet. And as I say that to myself, I laugh because it's so obvious. But yet, you know, this is almost where kind of like a spiritual, I feel like my spiritual psyche, my spiritual mind, and my human mind, I get to watch that there's a mismatch between them. My spiritual higher self knows that endless growth, endless movement, constant change is actually what's happening. That's actually what we're doing here. My human mind wants to form a neural pathway, physical, you know, it might be a subtle physical thing, but it's a physical thing, and it wants it to not change. It wants to have it now. It wants it to be a thing that I know. And that tension between I know this and it's always changing. It really is kind of like I'm watching my. It's almost like I have an observer within me that can watch my sort of reptilian brain or mammalian brain do its work and try to keep up, and then try to convince me that we're done. And that's an amazing. I think the more I meditated today too. I had a really nice meditation this morning. That really helps. That really helps create that space around the brain side of it, so that as the brain is doing its thing and concretizing everything, there's enough of me, there's enough of the higher me around to be able to say, I don't know, I don't think we're there yet. Or just to have the awareness of, oh, look what's happening. It's categorizing this, it's putting it in a box, it's defining it, it's learning something. But it's not, but it always doesn't know that there's more. It always wants to be there. It always wants to be arriving. You know, my human side of my brain is always wanting to arrive. My spiritual, my spirit, my soul, spirit, spiritual psyche is totally happy to be in constant motion. It is constant motion. Its natural state is that. Has no problem with that. It's been fun to watch those two things kind of rub up against each other today. So that's where I am today, folks. I appreciate you. Thanks for watching. I go into the show again tomorrow. We kick off another round. It's gonna be fun. I'll keep you posted. I appreciate you. Love you. See you soon.